the question that came up was, we've got this department came and approached us, and they want a leadership module, and leadership is just huge right now, and I get why, because I think it's the foundation of everything that every single company does. Is leadership is so huge. So they were tasked with turning a workshop into a live workshop into an online leadership kind of module, right? And they said, so how do we get started with this module? Like this, we don't have the capacity, and we've got so many things in our plate, and then they need a module by next quarter.
You're here because you want more engagement, more delight, more fun, more learning. You're hungry for change and willing to take action.
If you're not prepared to be wrong, you will never come up with anything original.
Welcome to the e-learning scenario design podcast with Anna Sabramowitz.
I'm gonna show you how great I am.
Let's take learning to the next level.
Hello, this is Anna Sabramowitz, and I help new instructional designers and multimedia experts design e-learning scenarios from scratch. Okay, so I got a great email, and I thought, this email is from one of my private coaching clients, and I thought, I gotta share this one too. It's awesome, right? So, and I always say this, sometimes you take some things for granted, but I love working with curious and really engaged people who want to do a great job, because they're always asking questions that I'm thinking, oh man, this is so awesome. And I know other people have this question because I've heard it before. So don't lose this opportunity to just share it, because, well, then they can probably just watch this video. So what's really cool is when I got this email from this client, this is the setup that I've got is totally win-win, everybody. So it's what I do is I'm kind of like this. No, not kind of. I am the strategy person for them when it comes to scenarios. They've seen awesome scenarios out there. They want to create some of their own. They want to use stories. They want to engage their workforce to have their own aha moments. They have all the tech stuff. They have all the skills, but they just need that strategy on how to make that happen. And so that's my job, right? Basically, it's kind of a dream job, because what I get to do is I get to talk to them every week about what they're trying to accomplish, prod, pull, see what I can do, see how I can make them think about things in a different way, give them some pointers, give them some homework, and then what happens is they go away, they create, and then we touch base again in a week. So it's awesome, because I don't have to get my hands dirty with any software. They can still use whatever they want to, but the strategy can be applied anywhere. So I think I just love what I do. It's super awesome. So speaking of that, this was kind of like a strategy question, right? So one of the things that happens is whenever I talk to new coaching clients, what happens is they ask about where to start first, because these projects can be quite overwhelming. And what this does is it just it overwhelms people, it frustrates them, and also they just don't know where to start. And so when you have so many things kind of on your plate, what happens is you either procrastinate because you don't know where the heck to begin, or you just get frustrated, and you just don't feel good about the work that you're doing, because you don't think you're doing a job as good as you could, because you're just kind of fumbling forward. So one of the things that I do is basically I kind of help them brush away all the things that are not important, so they can just focus on taking the first step, the second step, and the third step. Basically, what's next, and where can you focus? Because that's one of the things that comes from an outside perspective, is I can look at it from the outsider's view to see what's going on and kind of brush away the stuff that's not important and help them focus. So the question that came up was, we've got this department came and approached us, and they want a leadership module, and leadership is just huge right now, and I get why, because I think it's the foundation of everything that every single company does. Is leadership is so huge. So they were tasked with turning a workshop into a live workshop into an online leadership kind of module, right? And they said, so how do we get started with this module? Like this just, we don't have the capacity and we've got so many things in our plate and they need a module by next quarter. And I said, well, what's the definition of a module really? And where are we trying to find that value? We've done some analysis. We realize what are the key behaviors of leaders. Why don't we just put out a single question wrapped around a story? And we do that this month. We just come up with that single question with some consequences, something really simple but really provocative, and get those conversations going. And then next month, why don't we just launch another question that's in the same narrative, maybe follows the same narrative story in the life of, but now it's a different conundrum or a different question. And they thought, hey, that's something we can scale. That's something that's easy to launch. We can get feedback on that quickly. And why not? Why does a module have to be this huge thing? Why not create a single interaction with a story wrapped around it, launch that, see how it goes? I mean, the goal, one of the things that we're trying to do is instead of investing all this time up front and hoping things will work out, is we're putting things out there that are just small, agile, and provoke the right kind of response. And we just do that enough times. Heck, later you can do a whole lot of things where you're combining all those things together. But in the meantime, what you're doing is you're making small steps towards Mount Everest, right? So we decided to do that, and hopefully it'll be next week we're drafting, so it'll be fantastic because the momentum's there, the energy's kept up for the team, they're building skills along the way, but it's not overwhelming. It's just a single question, getting that ready, getting that launched to people. You don't have to create all these complex systems to support it. You just package it up, getting out to people, and see what happens and see what kind of feedback it does and what kind of ripple effect it has. And it doesn't have to be huge. What's a module, right? Those are definitions. Nobody's come up with that. You don't have to follow the same standards as that don't even exist, right? So that's what I said. That's what they did, and we'll see how it works out. I think they're excited about it because it seems like such a doable project, right? You could just have a quick win and quickly test what's working and what's not, because then you haven't invested this huge amount of time into just finding out what resonates with your people. And it varies from place to place, right? So you have to find the right story when you're doing that. So I thought I'd share that with you because I think that sometimes we overcomplicate things by making things too huge, too invested. Too many things have to be in the right place, while really what you can do is have a small iteration and launch it and then find out the results and feel successful and get a win for your team, get a win for yourself, so that you can build your confidence and continue iterating and building better stuff. So I hope you also take my advice. That one's free. Haha. And if you found this useful, share it with a friend. And I will talk to you next time, friend. Take care. Have a great day.
You're listening to the E-Learning Scenario Design Podcast with Anna Sabramowitz.